Hey guys, happy Friday. It's your girl Cassandra coming at you with another video. So this video today is actually going to be very different from all the other videos. So I know I mentioned before in other videos how, the Lord kind of came to me and was like, it's time to do videos. But at the time when he told me that, technically, that idea wasn't brand new. And, I had friends who probably over a year ago had been talking to me about doing some videos. Now, when they were initially talking to me about the videos, they were talking to me about doing something in the prophetic vein, what have you. As this idea has kind of, come to life, the Lord has kind of shown me it's going to be a hodgepodge of different things, but it will also include some prophetic elements as well. So I'm really excited to bring to you what I'm calling the first real prophetic video. Now, technically, I had a word of knowledge that I posted earlier this week, so maybe that's really the first prophetic one. But this one is specifically concerning the month of May. So basically, what I wanted to do is put out a word for May. And if you're not familiar with the prophetic, sometimes the Lord will have an agenda for that month. He will have something that he wants you to look forward to. And so that's what I'm doing here today, is just kind of bring you some encouragement and give you a few things that you can look forward to and possibly partner with the Lord concerning the month of May 2020. So, when the Lord came to me and was like, hey, you're going to do a word for May, I was kind of like, okay, well, what's the word? And he's like, technically, you already have the word. And I'm thinking to myself, I do? And so what he did is he reminded me. Now, I'm on my church's prophetic team. And so, every Thursday night, I'll give a shameless plug here. Every Thursday night, we do prophetic teams on our Zoom page for our church. So basically, if you go to Arise Life on Facebook, you can find all the deets on that. And basically, you sign up for a prophetic word and our leaders will send you a link and let you know that you're officially signed up and tell you what time slot that you got and all that fun stuff. So, I've been on the prophetic team for a little bit, and that has been a tremendous blessing. My heart is just to encourage people and to do whatever I can to remind them that God sees them, and he has a word for them. He wants to encourage them. He wants to tell them they're doing a good job and tell them, what to look forward to. So, if you want a prophetic word from a prophetic team, I encourage you to go find Arise Life on Facebook and sign up for the prophetic teams. They do it every Thursday night, and it's been exploding. It started off with a handful of people coming into the Zoom. We've had to increase the amount of teams that we've had, so don't miss out. If you want to hear a personal word of how God feels about you and what he wants you to focus on in this next season, come and join us. We would absolutely love to have you. So I've been on the prophetic team, at Arise. And then also, this past Sunday, we did what we called tables. Our church did this thing called tables. So as we're slowly trying to get to the corporate church, we're doing small groups for the people who feel comfortable with that. Some people don't, and that's fine. But for the people who feel comfortable, they're inviting a few people to their houses, and we're doing kind of small groups. Well, my group this past Sunday, we did a prophetic game. And, I had something happen that doesn't normally happen whenever I prophesy over people. There are a few people who I sense the same word for. And I was kind of the second time I got it, I'm like, well, Lord, didn't you just say that for her? He's like, yeah. And I'm saying it over him. And I'm like, well, okay. And basically what the Lord showed me and all that was those words that you feel like you have repeated a few times, those are corporate words. Those are words for the body. And so that is what I'm doing in this season. And so I was like, wow, that's so deep. Okay, so I had to go back and think, what were those words again? So basically, he gave me 3 words that I want to encourage you guys with for the month of May. Now, the first word is replevin. And like I've mentioned before in videos, I usually like to go back to Webster or Oxford Dictionary, Google the meaning of words, because I feel like even though you may have a basic understanding of what that word means, I always find that when I look up the definition, I see parts of the meaning of the word that I hadn't thought of, and it brings a lot of more a lot more light to what God is trying to say. So the first word was replevin, and this is what I read, and it kind of rocked me. And it said, replevin, or claim and delivery, is a legal remedy which enables a person to recover personal property taken wrongfully or unlawfully, and to obtain compensation for resulting losses. And, I really felt like the Lord was saying, like, this was a month of replevin. So you can look at that in multiple different ways. You can look at it in the natural, in the physical. If you've had something that has been stolen from you, or as it says, wrongfully or unlawfully taken, like, that is not okay. We serve a God who is a just judge, and he is not good with your stuff being taken. And then also in the spiritual realm, a lot of us have dealt with things that have technically been stolen from us in the spiritual realm. And you might ask, like, what does that deal with? Well, look at the cycles in your life. Do you have cycles in your life? Do you notice the same things keep happening over and over and over again? I've heard of people who, the same month of every year, like, they wind up having, a car accident or something bad happening to them. Or people who, I've been looking for a job for, like, who knows, a year, and I always get to the last step and I'm like, woo, they're about to hire me, and then boom, the bottom falls out, and all of a sudden, crickets. I'm not hearing anything from anybody. Like, are there any cycles? Are there any patterns in your life? These are areas of your life where you're being robbed. The enemy is taking from you. And that is not okay with the Lord. And so I really feel like he's saying, like, this is a month to press into getting your stuff back. So I encourage you to, like, sit down and think about that. What areas of my life do I constantly feel like I am being held back or hindered or robbed? And then again, in the natural, like, if you've had something legit stolen from you, I mean, like I just said, that is not okay. And God is not okay with that. And, there are parts of our lives where he wants to release replevin. And I am all about that. Bring on the replevin. I have multiple areas of my life where I can say, I have been stolen from in the physical and also spiritually. So ask the Lord, what area do I need to partner with you in this month to get my stuff back? And I think that, that last part of that definition, like, really spoke to me too. It's like, and to obtain compensation for the resulting losses. I want my stuff back, and kind of like they say in court, and you gonna pay me for pain and suffering too. Pain and suffering too. I want my stuff back, and you're gonna repay me for pain and suffering. So this is the month to press into that. The second word that the Lord gave me was reciprocate. Now, this past Sunday, I had the opportunity, like I said, to prophesy over a few people, and he kept sharing that word, reciprocate. And the main area where he was showing me that, it was in areas of relationship. And I'm not saying this is the only area where God is going to release that level of reciprocation, but I really felt like relationships was one of the focuses. And, the people I was prophesying over, like, I just felt like this sense of just like, these people had been giving their all in relationships, had been pouring out, like, giving the shirt off their back for people who were not doing the same in return, and were just content, just sitting back, taking. They had no issue with that. And, the Lord, I mean, I could feel the heart of the Lord over those people. Like, he was like, that is not okay. That is not okay with me. That was not my intention for your life. And that is not something that I want to continue happening in your life. And so what I had prophesied over those two people was, the Lord is getting ready to partner you up with people that are going to reciprocate. They're going to meet you with the same energy that you are meeting them. Now, guys, that might be in friendships. For some of you, he's bringing you friends in your life. Friends that actually reciprocate the energy that you're putting out, the love that you're putting out, the care that you're putting out. For some of you, it's going to be in the area of romantic relationships. God is finally going to send you somebody who loves you as lavishly as you love. And that's fair. He wants you to be loved lavishly, and you deserve to have someone who loves lavishly. For some of you, that's in the area of business. How do you think it feels to have a business partner, yet you're putting in 80 hours a week and this person's just chilling on the golf course? Like, that is not okay. And I really feel like God is saying, this is a season and this is the month where you are going to see how I send relationships in your life that are going to reciprocate what you have been pouring out for years upon years upon years. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about that. Like, you know, I'm a giver and I love to receive also. And so it's always a beautiful thing where you feel like the person that you are in partnership with or in a friendship with or in a relationship with is putting in the same energy that you're putting out. So I'm all about that. I received the reciprocation in the month of May 2020. The last word that the Lord gave me was transition. And again, you know, I felt like I had spoken that to multiple people over the last few weeks. And I realized, like, this is a corporate word. Like, this is not just for these people. And so I feel like May is also a month where we are transitioning. That may look differently for everyone. You know, that may be completely different for everybody, different areas of life. So like this one, I don't have like a ton of specifics for, but I definitely feel like he is saying this is a month of transition. So, you know, one of the things that I love, you know, I've heard somebody say one time about the prophetic that I absolutely love is the prophetic is not supposed to take the place of your relationship with God. When you get a prophetic word, you know, it's not supposed to be like, Lord, do I take this job or do I take this job? God, do I date this person or do I date this person? You know, we're not supposed to really approach the prophetic in a way that it's like, this is the place where I come to get all my answers. No, basically the prophetic is like your invitation to have a discussion with the Lord. You know, so a lot of times you'll hear things in prophetic words that are open-ended or are not, you know, exactly specific. And the reason for that is you're supposed to take that word and take it back to the Lord and be like, what does this mean for me? It's supposed to start a dialogue between you and God. It's not supposed to be like this psychic, you know, appointment where they just come and tell you all your business and tell you what you need to do and all that. That's not what this is about. So I encourage you to ask the Lord, like, what are the areas of transition? One of the things that I felt like he kind of impressed on me too was that in this season of transition, you need to make room for what you're praying for. You need to make room for what you're asking for. And, you know, when I was talking to him about this in the car the other day, he reminded me of the Steve Harvey clip that I had watched probably a few months ago. And it's this really cool clip where he's talking about how he, you know, back in the day when he lived with his mom, and he would always come and tell his mom, hey mom, I'm going to get me a car. I'm going to get me a car. And she's like, okay, baby, but you know, your old car is still sitting out in the driveway on blocks, right? And he's like, yeah, I know, mom, I'm gonna take care of that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so every single time he would come to his mom, hey mom, you know, I'm gonna get me a car. And she would be like, I know, baby, but you do know that your old car is still sitting out in the driveway on blocks. And so he was feeling some type of way about that. He's like, why is it every time I try to tell her about my new car, like she's not getting super excited with me when she keeps talking about this car that's out in the driveway? And so long story short, he finally got rid of that car. He said he cleaned like the driveway where the oil spots were, all this stuff. And then eventually he got that car that he was talking about. And so he goes into the kitchen and he's like, hey mom, I got the car. And she's like, I know, baby. And he's like, how does she know? I didn't tell her yet. And he's like, you know? She's like, well, yeah, you finally got rid of that car that's been sitting out in the driveway on blocks. And that is just so profound, guys. Whatever we are asking God for, whatever we are praying for, we need to make sure that we're making room for it. Do you have room for what you're asking for? If you're praying for a mate, are you emotionally available? Or have you dealt with all your baggage? Are you in a place where you can receive this person and not traumatize them? If you're asking God for a business, have you carved out time to actually invest in your business? You know, if you're asking God for whatever it is, do you have room in your life to actually receive it? Because if not, this is the time of transition. This is the time to make room for the things you've been asking God for. So I just want to encourage you guys. It's the month of replevin. It's the month to finally get the reciprocal of what you've been putting out. And it is the month of transition. And then just sidebar, May is the 5th month, the number 5. You know, 5 always represents favor and grace. He's going to give you the grace to do what you need to do, and watch the favor pour in this month. So guys, I hope you've been encouraged by this video. I'm pumped. I'm excited about this month, and I cannot wait to see what God does. Partner with him. Go before him with all these 3 words. Ask him, which one is for me? Which one are we going after this month? Anyway, guys, I hope you're encouraged. Love y'all, and see you on the next video. Bye.